shaft just get a bit of a pull. Just get a... See what that looks like. It's probably squashed the...
No, it hasn't. You can clearly see it moving in that plane. So they are diametrically opposite forces.
That's right.
It's a DOCF club bend.
Okay. That's that. That one's done even more. It's really...
That's kinky.
Turn it around so we can see it. Yeah.
That's where you see it there.
Yeah.
It's kicked in there.
Turn around so we can see the face as relative to... sorry.
I'll hold it.
Yeah. Is that going to fall out? No.
Really
So you can really see it
kinked and bent.
You can see it bent down, yeah. And just open it up a touch. Yeah. So that's kind of what looks square, doesn't it? The hosel looks square now. Would you agree, John?
Yeah, it's getting square.
Well, that hosel there,
yep.
that looks pretty square.
Yeah.
So it's pretty well. Whereas here, you can see it's bent back. Whereas there, it's pretty straight as the face opens.
Well, it's very prominent that it has concavity in that section there, so it's bent in opposing planes.
Yeah.
Absolutely in opposing planes.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
But and down the track we'll build some bars that'll allow you to grip a little easier.
Well, we'll also show them exactly how you did that too.
Yeah.
All right, cheers.
Hi guys, it's JH. I thought I'd take the opportunity today of getting our club builder Chris McCourt to run through that process of kinking those irons for us. I know it's quite complex. Chris is basically the guy that, well, is the guy that originated the idea for us, so he knows exactly how the process works. So if I can just get Chris to run through this for you. We actually just did this, guys, and we didn't have the audio on, so we're going to have to do it again, but I'm sure Chris will indulge us. Okay, Chris, can you just give the guys a bit of a breakdown on what we're trying to do?
Okay, so what we're going to do first, we're going to actually put the wedge in the lie loft machine. So we're going to measure the loft. So this club has 52 degrees of loft. So now what we're going to do is actually grab the top of the hosel as high as we can with the bending bar. This bar is actually a short hosel bending bar as well, so it's a little bit narrower. So what we're going to try and do is actually hold the bottom of the bar and actually pull backwards and tilt this way. Normally when you're bending a club you grab it quite low and you try and keep the hosel very straight and keep it moving forward. So what we're going to do is grab the top of the hosel. I want to bend it about 5 degrees, so I'm going to try and pull and push at the same time. Okay.
Okay guys, did you hear that? He's pulling and pushing at the same time.
Yep, so I've taken right there about 6 degrees off the loft, but I've actually curved the neck. So now what I'm going to do is actually grab, as you would do normally, grab it as low as I possibly can on the hosel, and I'll just pull the loft back to its original amount. So what this should do, it should leave a reasonable amount of the curvature in the hosel. So let's go a little bit further. So that's, so if you have a look at that now, let's just put a slight curve in the...
Okay guys, see that little bit of kickback up here now? That's called our actual kinkback, and when we put that on the ground that enables the golf club to just lay open and fold itself back. And for the good player, that's a perfect facility.
And if you want to do it more, you can actually repeat the process and do it a little bit more.
Chris, can we just give them just a brief overview of the process of using the 2 bars?
Okay.
When we use the 2 bars.
So
This is, guys, this is something for your club maker. If he can just set up 2 bars and he has an assistant, I'll give Chris, an assist here. I'll grab this one over here, Chris, and you can stay on the camera side. Okay, so look at this, guys. What we've got here is diametrically opposite forces, and if you have an assistant in the workshop, the assistant can grab one. Chris is going to grab the front bar, and we've got a push-pull process going on here, diametrically opposed forces, and that will create the kink process that we need. Okay, great. Yeah, felt that go. So Chris, what would be the benefit of that as opposed to the procedure that you just gave us early on?
Oh, this one here, you won't have to dramatically push the top one forward and the back one. You can actually do it. If two people push and pull at the same time, you can keep everything in a similar position.
So would you say this would be a preference, the two bars?
It depends on how long the hosel is on the golf club,
okay.
And it also depends on, these ones are two short hosel bending bars, so most of the bending bars you have, a standard one's actually a little bit wider than that, so you couldn't put two standard width bars. I've just got a couple of ones that I use for clubs with short hosels on them, so you'd need a couple of those if you were to do it this way.
Okay, guys, you've got to make sure that your equipment guy or your club bender has got those type of bending bars, because the hosel length is absolutely critical. Okay, Chris, if we can just have a look at that just quickly as to what that hosel looks like now and the effect of it on the ground in situation. Talking to the microphone.
Yep, so if you actually see this one now, what will actually happen when I put it on the ground, it'll really want to sit open. So the reason for this, the average golf club is designed for a person who slices a golf ball. So by doing this, it tends to lean towards the person who hits a golf ball with a draw. This will straighten out a draw and you'll hit the ball quite straight. It's the opposite of where sort of conventional club design is going, because obviously it's biased towards the average golfer who slices a golf ball. This is biased towards the sort of 1% of golfers who draw or actually hook the golf ball. This will really help.
Well, thanks, Chris. That's been very informative. I appreciate how busy you are today. And guys, we couldn't do this on the forum by way of a written text. It's too difficult, too complex, and Chris basically being the guy that we've been working with from day one on this, and he's done all the bending for us, and he knows exactly what the process is. So thanks again, Chris. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure the guys will get a lot out of it.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys. I hope all this helps.
Good on you. Thanks, Chris.